The Hollywood Foundation is proud to be a part of supporting the incredible talent coming from all corners of our country. Sithabatha ubunkokheli, siqhubela umdlalo wabahlali ngapha komda weNtluva. Sidlalela iNtluva isizukulwana esilandelayo to grow South Africa's future rugby heroes.
Welcome back. Castle Lager, our favourite South African beer, has done it again. Castle has launched a limited edition brew to celebrate our reigning champions, the Springboks. Brewed to be enjoyed watching the game with friends or over a braai. Get yours today. South Africa, I'm sure you've been thoroughly entertained. 12-6 at the break in favour of the Springboks. And New Zealand, a man down as well. Before we get to all of those incidents, Coach, sum up this first half for us.
Yeah, what we always talked about is keep the scoreboard rolling, keep the scoreboard pressure on your opponents, and that's what we did well today. What we're lucky is that New Zealand is discipline is very ill. They not doing what they were scripted to go do, and it's in our favour. And then with the boot of Andre Pollard is keeping us really in the game. And what we also said is when the bench come on, this is the kind of things that we want. The scoreboard pressure, and they have to play from anywhere on the field with those kind of pressure.
Is it what South Africa's doing to prevent New Zealand from playing the kind of rugby that they would like to play or not?
You know, Udo, even the best team with pressure tends to actually crumble at some point. Things don't go to plan. Maybe that their plan is not working. It's just the pressure South Africa's point is actually putting on them physically in terms of defense. They are making their first time tackling, man. First of all, especially one guy, I'm always critical of Peter Steph. But today he shut me up properly, and he's been the beast in the first half. He's been immense. And actually the worrying factor as well for us was also the early exit of Bonambi. So, but the engine of Dean Fourie is not a problem. But I understand I can keep that consistency that he's having at the moment in the scrum. Things are looking good. That was my biggest concern. What kind of dynamics is going to play? They're playing with one man short, so that could probably work in our favour when the fresh legs comes on as well.
I was asking for the last week whether South Africa are victim of mental fatigue. You guys as players and coaches have told me, listen, if you can't pick yourself up for a final, you shouldn't be playing at the World Cup. And we're seeing exactly that today.
Exactly. In their face. This is our World Cup final. This is not Twickenham a couple of weeks before the World Cup where they played for the Qatar Cup. This is the World Cup. And we are dominating every aspect so far. Only concern was as soon as Bongi went off, I know Brannis is struggling with the lineouts. We've lost a few now already.
Deon Fourie.
Apologies. But what I would do is I would change it up right now at halftime and say, let's not kick out. We're all over them. We're contesting well. We've taken a bit of their ball already. So let's go deep. Let's try to hit grass. Let's not force. We will force them to rather kick at us. So we're playing from their half. But we do not want liners right now.
Having said that, how many times have South Africa come close to stripping ball in New Zealand's line-out? And we did it at least once in this half. That is a really good area of play from this first half to reflect on.
Yeah, I think that is where Connie just get it a bit mixed up. We don't want them to kick out to us.
Yes. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. But when we kick to them, we are so in control of their lineouts. They are actually not comfortable with. They're running around. They actually win the lineouts. Not all of them, but they win it. But they're not winning it.
It's not clean.
That's exactly what it is all about.
Kudos
so our
to
scrums is not bad.
Yes.
Our lineouts is actually working 100%. Our defense is on song. So we control this game at this moment.
That defensive line speed is something to marvel at from this first half.
Jesse's playing a big part. Just watch what's happening from every kick chase. He's taking that line up. He's closing down the wide option. And at that point, they look like they're under pressure. So let them go. Let them throw the ball around now. You've got one man short. It's a 7. In New Zealand, a 7 is a fetcher, if you wanna call it that.
100%.
His job is to get to the ruck first, to clean it. So already we've taken that away from them. We're gonna be giving them slower ball. Just for the last 3 minutes, I've been watching, and the ruck count went from 3 seconds to 4 seconds. You think a second does not matter? I can guarantee
It's a lifetime. It's a lifetime. Also, kudos to Cheslin Colby. Every time you look up, he's popping up in the...
But we're not missing him that much at this stage. The one thing is, if you look at the red card, we were forced to make the tackle because we are running at them today.
Yeah.
And so he was forced to make the tackle. Rightfully, wrongfully, we don't have, because we're not sitting behind the cameras. But we force them into making mistakes. And that is where we are in control
Well,
now.
we'll have a chance to have a look at the red card now, but what is the cost going to be for New Zealand losing their captain so early in this game?
I think I mentioned the ruck speed. Number one, his job,
Yeah.
7 in New Zealand, their job is to get to the ruck, secure the ruck, clean out whoever, set the pace of that ruck, and we've taken that away from them, which is major. You don't. I reiterate, you do not understand the value of that second that we have just bought ourselves right now.
Yeah.
Another thing is they're going to start bringing their game a whole lot closer. As soon as it got upgraded to a red, you could see that they start playing between the two 15s, which makes it easier for any defensive line. My only concern is don't get carried away with a red card, because you're playing against a team that has got absolutely nothing to lose now. They came close to scoring with 14 men.
Yeah.
They are going to go balls to the walls, throw it around and have some fun.
We don't want to get ahead of ourselves here as supporters. South Africans all over the place watching this game now, thinking history dictates that if you're trailing at half-time, you're not going to come back in the second half and fight back. But the work still has to be done in the second 40.
You're playing a team that posts 80 minutes in every game that they play.
Yeah.
So there's no way that anybody can think this game is won already.
No.
And if you look at the score, a lucky bounce, whatever, and they can be ahead. So what we need to do is get out there, go do everything the same that we did in the first half, and add more intensity to it, so that we force them into making mistakes more.
The kind of rugby we're playing tonight, you look at Andre Pollard, we spoke about in the pre-match that he hasn't missed a kick at goal at Stade de France since playing France in 2017. At this venue, he's phenomenal, and it's just shown again this evening.
Now, I suppose there's a man that actually come, let us talk about that. When the pressure's on, he tend to stand up, and obviously it's showing as well why the coaches made a decision initially to decide to go that route that they went. It actually is paying off dividends, and he's playing a senior role as well. He's controlling things, he's slowing things down, and he's obviously directing ship as well where things should be going. But I suppose you can do that when your forwards are actually laying the gauntlet. They're putting it out there. They're challenging New Zealand to bring it on. They're ready to take it on. And obviously the urgency is something they need to keep on check, and making sure the urgency stays on. The same minute that urgency slows down, then coaches need to pick up on that and bring on fresh wheels, because you need to keep that pressure for 80 minutes.
Coach
You're playing
said,
proper. You're playing proper final rugby at this stage.
Yeah.
And this is what's going to count in our favor. Really. We're taking the points that we need to do it, and we don't allow them to play. We're forcing them to kick. If you look at the kick that Bowden, in big space, Bowden kicking the ball away. I think that shows some panic that I never saw in him.
in terms of the scrum, coach says he's happy, it looks stable. You happy with the shove we're giving?
It's stable, but obviously it needs to be stable the whole game, because there's no other option there. So whatever they do there, the other guys around him need to galvanize extra strength to make sure they don't compromise them and actually put them in an awkward situation in the lineouts. They must probably bring in some variation where the ball is just actually, instead of jumping, just those sneaky ones.
Gotta go. 12-6 at the end of the first 40. We're calling on all schools and sports clubs to enter the MTN Guijo Challenge on mtn.co.za. If you did so before the 16th of October 2023, you stand a chance to win a share of 1 million rand. T's and C's apply. Enjoy the second half.